Okay, are we ready to go? All right, so this is the inaugural meeting for the 2022 to 2026 Board of Directors for the Regional District of Okanagan-Similkameen. And we've got some prestigious guests in the room for you. I'm going to introduce Ms. Grace Gray Eyes shortly. She's going to do the welcoming prayer. And I did see our member of the Legislative Assembly for Penticton just wandered in. So he's always got my back. So make sure you say hello to him when we get a chance. And we will have Judge Shannon Keys. I believe that's Judge Shannon Keys over there with the robes on. It would be inappropriate for anybody else to be wearing the robes. So we'll assume that's her. And she will be giving you your oath of office and oath of allegiance, if you so choose. So, first of all, let me introduce, we've got Grace Gray Eyes, who's going to give you a welcoming prayer. And Grace is sitting over in the corner, being appropriately pointed out. And Grace is a Penticton Indian Band elder, and she has honored us with her attendance today. And she's going to offer the welcoming prayer for the inaugural meeting. And she has asked that everybody refer to her as Grandma Grace. So that is how you can introduce yourselves. Grace does regularly attend at schools in order to do discuss experiences of residential schools. So she's well versed in that issue, and it's part of the truth and reconciliation process that Grace goes out and informs our young people. So we will now introduce Grace and get her to open the welcome prayer. So please stand.
Ready? I don't have to touch now. Well, good afternoon, everybody. My Indian name is Utmanza. My English name is Grace Gray Eyes. I used to be a Jack, but I married a Cree Indian and I became Gray Eyes. So I'd like to congratulate all the newcomers to their posts, I guess. And I hope you guys do a good job. Anyways, here I go. White limlim gulan chutten, eatem hulau, is cool. Is limlim di gulan chutten, eatem meh. Our spirit animals. Limlim gulan chutten, is tickles e ko isen. Is limlim di gulan chutten is silk. Is limlim gulan chutten is nak silt as quasquasia is an amimat e da dupa. White limlim apana is sil halt is coco ach. White e me stin apana. Limlim gulan chutten is qualaquelted. Ism sama. My prayer is, I thank the Creator for our land. I thank the Creator for this beautiful day. I thank the Creator for the food that we have every day. I thank the Creators for the animals who lay down for us. And I also thank our families. And I thank our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, and all the children out there who are needing love from their parents and grandparents, and having a lot of compassion in your lives. You have a post, I call it a post, but you new mayors need to really look at the people That's who brought you into office. And there's a lot of homeless people out there, and it's very cold out there at night, and they need a place to stay warm for how many hours? They have like from 10 o'clock at night to the morning. We need to take care of our people. We don't just stand and judge them. Oh, they're dirty, they smell, all that. Well, it's not their fault. Some of them, their jobs just ran out and they couldn't find another one. And we need to take a look at that, the workforce out there. People need to take care of people. All us old people are getting ready to go to Boot Hill somewhere, if that's allowed. But I know I lived in the world of working since I was 13 years old. So, you know, I know how it feels to always be ready to find a job and stay out of trouble. I had a mother and father who taught us those things, to be honest, to be a hard worker, and to help others and not to make fun of people that are like homeless or disabled, not to make fun of them, because they said when it's your turn to have a child, that child may come back disabled. And why? Because you were making fun of others. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me, and have a good time, whatever that means. And I see a lot of fellas in here. And I remember Eric too.
Okay. Okay, cut her off.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. But thank you anyways, everybody. Have a great day. Take this.
Okay, so that was very nice, and Grandma Grace may not be able to stay through the rest of the meeting, but we certainly appreciate her for coming in and providing that prayer for us. So what we want to do now is to move forward into the oath of office, and if you choose, the oath of allegiance. It is a requirement of the Local Government Act that a person elected or appointed to office of a board must make an oath or solemn affirmation of office within the specified time limits that are in the Act as a precedent to commencing their term. So that's what we're going to be about today. And it says further that the oath or affirmation must be before a judge, justice of the peace, a commissioner of oaths, or a corporate officer or an election officer. So we are fortunate enough today to have a judge that will perform that for you. So a bit of an intricate process for us. We have three distinct groups in the room. We have those that are directly elected from their electoral areas. We have those that are appointed by their municipal councils, and we have a group of alternates that are in the room with us as well. All need to be sworn in. So Judge Keys is going to figure out how she's going to do that, and she'll let you know. Really what it is, the oath is just a statement of fact. It says that you're qualified to hold the office, that you'll abide by the rules, that you'll lead with integrity, and so on. And if there is anybody in the room that is not able to do that, now would be the time to leave. We'll assume that everybody passed that test when you ran for and were elected to office or appointed by your colleagues to sit at the table. And the same thing would be important for the alternates that are going to be sworn in today as well. So before we begin, you do have the option either to swear or to affirm. And if you are going to swear the oath of allegiance, you need a Bible. And Christy has those available So if anybody chooses to do that, make sure you have a Bible in front of you. If not, then you will affirm. And the oath of allegiance is an oath to King Charles. That is discretionary. So if you are so moved, you can, the judge will ask if you want to swear the oath of allegiance, and you can do so. That is not applicable to what group you're in. That would be just generally. So it is my pleasure to introduce Judge Shannon Keys. Judge Keys earned her Bachelor of Laws degree from the University of Victoria in 1985, called to the bar in 86. She spent several years in private practice before joining the criminal justice branch as a Crown Counsel in 2000, a position she held until her appointment to the bench as a provincial court judge in February 2014. So please help me welcome Judge Shannon Keys.
Oh, I guess this is working. All right. Well, I'm delighted to be here to take on this ceremonial role today. What you folks do is very important to all of the people that live here, and I'm glad to be a part of making it official. So I gather that we're going to be doing this in groups, and that each group, when called upon, will stand, and each member will be reciting this oath. Now, that could get very noisy. So what I'm thinking we should do is, when the time comes, your group will stand. Then I'll start, basically we'll do a call and answer method, like you see at weddings. So I solemnly affirm, then you say I solemnly affirm, and then I'll read the next line, and then you'll say the next line, and that's how we'll do it. Okay? All right. So the first group that needs to stand is Electoral Area Director's Oath of Office. So Electoral Area Directors. All right. All set. Okay. So tell me your names. Do solemnly affirm I am qualified to hold the office of Director for the Regional District of Okanagan-Similkameen, to which I have been elected. I have complied with the provisions of the Local Government Act in relation to my election to this office. I will abide by all rules related to conflicts of interest under the Local Government Act and Community Charter. I will carry out my duties with integrity. I will be accountable for the decisions that I make, the actions that I take in the course of my duties. I will be respectful of others. I will demonstrate leadership and collaboration. I will perform the duties of my office in accordance with the law. All right, then you're done. Thank you. Next, I'll ask the municipal directors to stand. Yes, I understand that we have some commissioners for taking oaths who are going to endorse your signatures when you sign. So I'll ask you to just wait to sign them until you've got that commissioner there to observe you doing it, okay? All right, so municipal directors. I do solemnly affirm that I am qualified to hold the office of Director for the Regional District of Okanagan-Similkameen, to which I've been appointed. I will abide by all rules related to conflicts of interest under the Local Government Act and the Community Charter. I will carry out my duties with integrity. I will be accountable for the decisions that I make, the actions that I take in the course of my duties. I will be respectful of others. I will demonstrate leadership and collaboration. I will perform the duties of my office in accordance with the law. All right. Thank you. And lastly, I'll ask the alternate directors to stand, please. All right. I do solemnly affirm that I am qualified to hold the office of alternate director for the Regional District of Okanagan-Similkameen, to which I've been appointed. I will abide by all rules related to conflicts of interest under the Local Government Act and Community Charter. I will carry out my duties with integrity. I will be accountable for the decisions that I make, the actions that I take in the course of my duties. I will be respectful of others. I will demonstrate leadership and collaboration. I will perform the duties of my office in accordance with the law. Then you're all done. Now, if there are any who would like to take the oath of allegiance, now would be the time to stand up. All right, sir. I do promise and swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors. Thank you. All right, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this.
Before you go, I'd like to present this token of appreciation from local artist Vivian, who has a very long last name. I won't try to say it now. She's lovely, but this is one of her artistic prints, and we wanted to present that to you as a token of our appreciation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Keys. So the alternates were the most synchronized group taking the oath. Okay, so now that we're officially sworn in, our next order of business is to elect a chair and a vice chair for the Regional District of Okanagan-Similkameen. So what the act says is that at the first meeting held after November 1st in each year, the board must elect a chair and vice chair. So again, different from a municipality, each year we'll have our board elections. Okay, so this will be for November 2022 till the subsequent inaugural meeting in 2023. The vice chair will serve as chair in the chair's absence. So Section 216 of the Local Government Act provides that a chair is the head and chief executive officer of the regional district. And in addition to the chair's powers and duties as a board member, the chair also has the following duties. So this is more or less the job description for an office that you may be running for. To see that the law is carried out for the improvement and good government of the regional district, to communicate information to the board, to preside at board meetings when in attendance, to recommend bylaws, resolutions, and measures that, in the chair's opinion, may assist the peace, order, and good government of the regional district in relation to the powers conferred on the board by an enactment. To direct the management of regional district business and affairs, to direct the conduct of officers and employees in accordance with Section 239 and 240 of the Local Government Act. Informally, the chair serves as the face of the board and is required to represent the board at many events throughout the regional district. And of course, the vice chair would fulfill those duties if the chair was available. Related to 216D, with the vice chair and chief administrative officer, sets the board meeting agenda. So in our case, our chair and vice chair forms the executive of the board, and they set the agenda before it goes out every second week. The chair issues media releases on behalf of the corporation, and it is a responsibility of the chair to issue a declaration of a state of local emergency when required. Okay? So duties of the chair. So let us talk then about the election. When we get to that point, I'll open the nominations, and a member can nominate another member of the board to serve as chair. We'll require a seconder for that. The nominated member will be required to accept the nomination, and I'll keep asking until there are no further nominations. At that point, we'll have our election. Now, we do have some members attending electronically, and they've been provided a link. In front of each member should be a voting control. And what I understand is, because we will be voting initially for chair, and if there are more than one member running for chair, and in other words, if it's not an acclamation, those not successful during the chair election can let their name stand for election as vice chair. So electronically, what that means is we're going to have an electronic voting platform opened, and you'll see the votes as they come in off of your devices. And after each vote, we have to reset the voting devices. So there will be a bit of a break there. It's about 20 seconds. They have to reboot. You'll have to turn them off and then turn them back on again. And then that will allow Danny to load the names of the nominees. Okay. And I've gone off my script here, so I'm not sure where I am. I think that was it as far as the electronic part. This is a bit new for us this year. The procedure for the election of vice chair will be the same as for the position of chair. Once we have our slate of nominations and Danny enters them on to the electronic voting platform, each member that has been nominated will be given 3 minutes to address the members to convince them that they're the best choice for chair. And following all of the nominees, we will then enter your votes into the electronic platform, and they will be tallied on the screen. And then we'll do the same for vice chair. And at that point, once the elections are done and we have our chair and vice chair, I'll turn the meeting over to the new chair, and we'll commence the rest of the agenda. Any questions on the process? Director Bush?
Yes, so are the votes weighted?
No, everybody gets one vote.
Are we voting for the hospital board as well? The chair and vice chair?
We will later.
But not today?
Not at this meeting. Once we're done the election of chair and vice chair and get our signing authorities and schedule of meetings for the regional district, we'll adjourn the meeting, and then we'll open the meeting for hospital district. Any other questions on process? Danny, did I get everything as far as the electronic stuff? Apparently not.
Pretty close, actually. Really good. The only thing we're trying to do to make it a little simpler is these little devices, because we have to start 4 individual votes, and the reason is hybrid. I'm going to bring that up a lot. Hybrid meetings are hard because there's people here and there's people online. So for the hybrid, for us to give us enough time to go and give them the information on the cloud, we have to do 4 separate votes, as Bill explained. The one thing that'll make it easier is we don't want these devices turned on until we actually say it's time to vote. That will make them register much faster. So you just keep them off, and then once we're actually have the poll open online and both in the room, then we'll vote, and then we're going to turn them all off. And we're going to get set up for the next vote, depending what the outcome is. And the same procedure will follow for each of those. So just keep them off until we're actually tell you it's time to vote. Any questions? Hybrid sucks. It's not easy, but we'll get through it. Thanks.
Okay, so did everybody got that? Leave them off. Okay, I will now open the nominations for the position of chair for the Regional District of Okanagan-Similkameen. Director Coyne. Oh, Director Bush.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Mark Pendergraft for chair.
I'll second.
Second for that. Director Pendergraft, would you accept the nomination? Okay. I will call a second time for nominations for the position of chair. I will call a third time for nominations for the position of chair of the Regional District of Okanagan-Similkameen. Seeing none, I will declare nominations closed and declare Director Pendergraft acclaimed. As he was for the general election. It's getting an easy run. I will now open nominations for the position of vice chair for the regional district.
I'd like
Marty?
to nominate Director Spencer Coyne.
Oh. Is there a second for Director Coyne? Director Coyne, would you accept the nomination for vice chair?
I do.
Okay. Other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Director Holmes.
Director Holmes, is there a seconder for Director Holmes? Second? Director Holmes, would you accept the nomination for vice chair?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. I'll call for further nominations for the position of vice chair for the regional district. Okay, I'll call a second time for nominations for vice chair and a third time. And I'm sorry, were there any nominations from our electronic participants? No. Okay, I will declare nominations for the position of vice chair closed. And we have Director Spencer Coyne and Director Doug Holmes. We'll just go in the order that they were nominated, and you have 2 minutes to speak to your colleagues.
Okay. I hate these parts. I'm running for vice chair again because I believe that I have the time to assist the chair. This would be my third time as vice chair if elected today. I've learned a lot over the last few years. During COVID, it was a little bit difficult to do our jobs, but in the last year, Mark and I have worked very good together. We've collaborated and we've been able to make most events and everything else. But more importantly, we've started some pretty big processes in the last year, one of them being the emergency management review. And I want to see that through. As vice chair, I would like to stay with that and keep that moving forward. I believe we still have a long way to go in that. But we also have some other issues that have been brought forward over the last 6 months, really over the last 6 months, on some other procedural things that have really kind of come to light. And as vice chair, I would like to spearhead some of those and help move some of those things forward that are operational and organizational, I guess would be the best way to put it. And with your support, I would like to continue to do that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I was previously vice chair in 2019 when Carla Kozakovich was the chair. During that time, I came to appreciate the value of the vice chair position and the value that it brought to both the board and the organization. And it's what motivated me once I was elected mayor of Summerland to propose the position of deputy mayor in our municipality, because municipalities don't normally have a position, a vice position like this. And it was approved by council at our inaugural meeting. And Aaron Trainer, the former director, is now our deputy mayor. And it's very much based on the vice chair model. Under the Local Government Act, the vice chair's only responsibility is to fill in for the chair when the chair is absent, ill, or disabled. And so in that respect, the vice chair needs to be somebody you can count on in a pinch to represent the board. And I can do that because I never really go anywhere. Of course, in practice, the vice chair has to be more than just somebody waiting in the wings. It has to be somebody who can add value, or else why have the position at all? The vice chair should be a team player, which I believe I am. They should be a second set of eyes and ears, for example, in ministers' meetings at UBCM. Someone who can support the chair, somebody who can support the board, and somebody who can help smooth out bumps and fill in gaps. I think I can be especially useful in helping to close some of the gaps that emerge from time to time between directors who are newer to the board and those directors who've served for a longer periods of time. And also some of the gaps that appear between rural directors and those representing the municipalities. So for me, it's all about adding value. That's what a vice chair brings to the table. And I believe that's how I can best contribute and why I'm interested in serving as your vice chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Holmes. So we are now obligated to vote. So Danny, will you let us know when you're ready for that? Okay. So we have two nominations. We have Spencer Coyne and Doug Holmes, and you can vote now. One or two, yeah. Okay. So Danny, so they hit, if they choose Director Coyne, it would be a 1. If it's Holmes, 2. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we have 19. Do we have Director Coyne Senior and Director McCordoff? So we have 20 members. So we need one more vote. Flip a coin. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah. So is Director Coyne Senior logged in? You got him on the phone. So would he show up on here? He would. Okay. All right. Who is number 20? Yeah. Okay, well, at some point, we're going to have to call this.
Sue, have you been able to vote? Sorry, Director McCordoff?
Oh. Is Sue still on? Do we know? Okay. So in that case, everybody has had the opportunity to vote. We don't know who hasn't because this is an anonymous vote. So unless I hear differently, we will close the vote. Okay, so let's close this off then, Danny. And now how do we tell who won? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so who have we got? Oh, is that it on the right-hand side? So which one is 1 and which one is 2? 1 is blue, so Director Coyne is elected as vice chair of the regional district. Okay, so now you can turn your voting devices off and we'll restart them during the hospital district board meeting. So at this point, I will turn the chair over to Chair Pendergraft and he can carry out the rest of the agenda. You want to sit up here? I do. Let me just get this stuff out of the way. Okay, there's your reports. They're up. That's done. There's your agenda. Perfect. Okay, so that and then the 2 reports.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody. This has already been called to order, so we're just looking for, did we do approval of the agenda? No. So approval of the agenda that's before us. Moved and seconded. Thank you. All those in favor? Thanks. Any opposed? Motion carries. Schedule of meetings is the first item on there. Looking for a motion to approve. Moved, seconded. Thank you. Do we have anything to say on that, CAO? Or is it just our standard go ahead.
Yeah, so typically we would go through it sort of meeting by meeting, but really it's our first and third Thursdays of each month. There is one conflict with UBCM, and at the time, we will bring forward a report as to whether the board wants to cancel that meeting, reschedule, or carry on. But at this point, all we're adopting is the first and third meetings of each month.
Okay, thank you for that. We have the motion on the floor already. Any discussion on it? Seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Motion carries. That brings us down to regional district signing authorities. The recommendation there is for the chair and the vice chair. CAO, do you have anything to add to that?
Just that it usually goes by position, Mr. Chair, so our signing authorities have traditionally been the chair and the vice chair.
Okay, looking for a motion. Moved, seconded, thank you. Any discussion on it? Seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Again, motion carries. Very short meeting. Motion to adjourn. Moved, seconded. All in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? We are adjourned. I will turn it back to CAO for Regional Hospital District.
Okay, so sort of the same process, except we will not have another welcoming prayer. Grandma Grace did a great job that served both of our meetings, so we'll stick with that. And we will not have to swear you in a second time because under legislation, you are automatically, now that you're sworn in as Regional District Board of Directors, you are automatically the Board of Directors for the Regional Hospital District. So we will go right to elections. Same process, and again, you should have had your voting devices turned off so that they could reboot, so that we can get them ready for these next two positions. Okay, so I will open nominations for the position of chair. Director Miller?
Thank you, Mr. Newell. I'd like to nominate Helena Conans.
Is there a seconder for Director Conants? Marty? Okay, and would you accept the nomination?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. I'll call a second time. Director Bush?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Martin Johansson.
Director Johansson?
I'll second.
Seconder is Director Johansson. Would you accept the nomination? Okay. I will call a third time for nominations for the position of chair for the Regional Hospital District. And just for good measure, I'll call one further time for nominations. Seeing none, we'll declare nominations for the position of chair of the hospital district closed. Okay, and we'll give each member 3 minutes. It's our protocol. Chairs get 3 minutes, vice chairs get 2. So again, we'll go in order of nomination. So Director Conants.
Well, thank you so much for the nomination. I think health and our health situation right now in the region is critical. I've, as many of you know, in this last election, I knocked on thousands of doors before the election, and one of the biggest issues was at the doors was lack of doctors. So many people at the doors do not have. So many people that live in the regional district do not have doctors. And so I think we need to address that situation. And I know this board has been working on that really hard. I think that we need to lobby even further to make sure that we get those doctors throughout the entire regional district. I also think that, as I mentioned earlier in the meeting, we have to make sure that we find out exactly how many people don't have doctors in the regional district. I mean, we're all talking anecdotally, but we don't know those numbers. So we need to find out that so that we can go in with the facts and figures and do the proper lobbying. The other thing is we have to make sure that we have, since so many people don't have doctors, we need to make sure that we have walk-in clinics that are actually open. And throughout the region, I know in Penticton and throughout regional district, we don't have those clinics open there, and that's not talked about at all. It's kind of a hidden crisis. And I also know that with the Oliver facility closed, hospital closed so often, because there are no doctors, that's a crisis. And throughout the region, we just need to make sure that we're recruiting and that we're working with provincial and provincial authorities and to make sure that we get those, so to make sure that our voices are heard. And we need to have that direct connection with Interior Health also. So I promise to work hard on that, and it is a passion of mine. So thank you again for the nomination.
Thank you. Director Holmes. Sorry.
Director Holmes.
Still thinking of the last election.
Let me check here.
Yeah. Director Johansson.
Thank you, CAO. Thank you for the nomination. You know, I dove into healthcare 4 years ago in 2018 when I was first elected, and I had said earlier today, it's like an onion and there's so many layers, and I have done so much work. Listening to people is really the first way to go, and I've listened and I've learned and I've got a ton of experience behind me, and this summer really came to fruition when I was able to put 2 meetings together with Minister Dix, traveled to Victoria to meet in the legislature, had a 40-minute one-on-one conversation. And I'm sure everybody here has had those conversations where it's clear that there's 2 people sitting at the table, and Mayor McCordoff was there as well through video conference. But it's clear when both people know what they're talking about. And when you have that happen, it opens up another room. It opens up another place for conversation, because you're not talking about the problems and we need to do something, we got to do something. You're talking about solutions. You're talking about what we can do next. And you're making requests of the minister to say, you know what, give me the opportunity to go away and do some blue sky thinking and come back with some ideas that are really going to make a difference. And when I come back, don't point to a manual and say, no, you can't do that because this doesn't tick all the boxes in there. Let's look at something that could maybe work. And this is an exciting time in healthcare. As much as it's a time where it's teetering on the verge of collapse, it is an exciting time. We're seeing announcements come out from the ministry on, loan forgiveness programs for new graduates, a new payment plan for doctors. But the problem with that is the financial side of it. It doesn't deal with the work-life balance that doctors are facing right now. And that is really the critical problem. And one thing that's happening, especially in new graduates, they want to work in teams. Primary care clinics are a place that doctors can work in teams. I was elected as chair last year and worked with Interior Health. They have money for primary care clinics. The problem with that money and Interior Health is there's a box that they're trying to work within. And we need to find a way to get out of that box, that we can find something that doesn't have to be an Interior Health facility where doctors are under contract, that we can look outside the box and find ways to get doctors engaged. The financial end of it is really beneficial because it will take care of the overhead bit, but we got to get doctors to buy in, to want to be in team care and make programs that are going to work for everybody. And I think municipalities can do that, and I think the hospital district can actually play a role in that. And that's something that I will be working on. I will be pounding on the doors of anyone that will listen to me. I've got the experience, I've got the knowledge, I've got the connections, and I believe we can make this happen. So thank you.
Okay, so you have your 2 nominees for the position of chair for the Regional Hospital District. And Danny, are we ready for the vote? Yeah, so turn on your machines. So 1 for Conant and 2 for Johansson. Does everybody have a machine? Like, everybody's got a device? Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have selected, so what does gold or blue mean? Okay, so Director Johansson is the new chair of the Regional Hospital District. Okay, yes, and you can turn your machines off now, and we'll start the process for the vice chair for the hospital district. I will now open nominations for the position of vice chair. Director Miller.
I'd like to again nominate Helena Conans.
Is there a seconder for Director Conans? Yes. Director Conans, would you accept the nomination? Yes. Yes. Okay, are there other nominations for the position of vice chair? Director Coyne?
Director Sue McCordoff.
McCordoff. Is there a seconder for Director McCordoff?
So second.
Second. Director McCordoff, will you accept the nomination? Okay, I can read lips. Okay. Are there further nominations? Director Johansson?
I'd like to nominate Director Roberts.
Director Roberts. Is there a seconder for Director Roberts? Yes. Director Roberts, would you accept the nomination? Yes. She would. Are there further nominations for the position of vice chair? I'll call a third and final time for nominations for vice chair of the hospital district. Is somebody waving? Yeah. Sorry, I didn't get that. Oh, okay. Okay, so we have Conans, McCortoff, and Roberts. Yeah, Conans, McCortoff, and Roberts. Director Monteith. Yes, as soon as we get them listed here. We're good? Okay. All right. So at least we've got everybody recorded. So again, we will go in the order of nominations. So 2 minutes for vice chair and Director Conans.
Thank you. I could repeat what I just said. Again, thanks for the nomination. I'd love to work with Director Johansson on this file. I think that I have the energy and I have the passion to be able to support us on all the projects that he just spoke about and everything that this board wants to do having to do with healthcare. And I promise I will give it 100%. And I'd like to work hard for this board. So thank you. And again, thank you again for the nomination.
Thank you. Director McCortoff, 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the nomination for this position. I have enjoyed working with Director Johansson over the last year, and I think we've accomplished quite a lot. We've certainly lobbied the Minister Dix and the Ministry of Health. We've also attended IHA meetings and met with them. Divisions of Family Practice has been really involved in what we have been doing. Definitely think primary care centers for rural health is the way to go. And certainly have been on the board for the South Okanagan General Hospital And so I think I have a good background in healthcare, and I would really like to continue as the vice chair of this committee. And I think I have a lot of experience, and I would be happy to have the support from the people that are voting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Director Roberts, 2 minutes.
I have 2 minutes. I'm usually loquacious, so I speak lots. But I'd like to say 21 years in health services and healthcare. I'm passionate about it. I've been involved in it at multiple levels. And I really like to move forward and get a little deeper. I have relationships with people that are in the divisions of family practices. I'd like to work with them hand in hand, as Director Morkordoff said, in regards to the primary care networks. And the time that I spent with the regional district, and prior to that as a community paramedic, sitting on the rural health consortium, dealing with the divisions of family practices. I believe that I have not only a past relationship, but also a continuing work in healthcare, and I think I will be able to provide a lot of insight, information, and support to the chair. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, so there we have our 3 nominees, and it is now time to vote. So pick up your devices. Can we get the screen up, Danny? It's thinking. It's not up. There we go. So 1 for Director Conant, 2 for Director McCortoff, and 3 for Director Roberts. Yeah, simple majority. So there we go. We got all 20, and here are the results. So we have Director Roberts elected as vice chair of the hospital district. Okay, important procedural question there. So we do need a majority. So what is, so 45% would clearly not be a majority. So in that case, we drop the lowest ranked nominee, and we will have a second vote. So everybody turn off your machine. Danny will re-enter the names of either Director Roberts or Director McCortoff, and we will vote again. Thanks. My math. Okay, are we ready? No. Okay, so we'll just talk amongst ourselves until we get the screen up. Yeah, in some ways, the old methodology where you just sign it. Yeah, then we had the scrutineers counted, yeah. Sorry? I don't know. Any idea what our voting devices cost to rent? Well, we own them. Okay, there we go. So 1 for Director Roberts, 2 for Director McCartoff. And I should notify the board that if we do have a tie, we flip a coin. That is what's in our procedure bylaw. And we have done it before. Okay, so there is our 20 votes and the results. So we have a majority for Director Roberts. How did we get 5 points? I'm having trouble. It is one that's the 60%, right? Okay, so we can declare Director Roberts as elected as Vice Chair. And I will turn the meeting over to the Chair.
Thank you, CAO. I'll call this inaugural meeting, I guess, of the Okanagan-Similkameen Regional Hospital District to order at 4:04 p.m. We've already done the election of the hospital chair and vice chair, so I'll move to look for a motion to adopt the agenda for the Okanagan-Similkameen Regional Hospital inaugural meeting dated November 10th, 2022. Moved and second. Call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving to legislative issues, the hospital district schedule of meetings. The recommendation is that the Okanagan-Similkameen Regional Hospital District Board of Directors schedule regular meetings to the third Wednesday of each month. Thursday? Sorry. Did I say Wednesday? I was taking some latitude. I golf on Thursday, so no, okay. Third Thursday of each month. Move. Second. Any further discussion? I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. And the Hospital District Signing Authority, the recommendation is that the Okanagan-Similkameen Regional Hospital District Board of Directors appoint the Okanagan-Similkameen Regional Hospital District Chair and Vice Chair as signing officers for the Hospital District for the 2022-2026 term of office. So moved. Second. Any further discussion? Call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. And look for a motion to adjourn. Moved. Second. All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. So long day. We do now, I believe, have pictures scheduled. So is that the oath? The oath will be collected, and we'll do the appropriate witnessing. So Christy, can you organize that for me, please? Yeah, hopefully you've signed, and then we'll collect them, we'll witness them when we get them all. I did witness you, all of them. All of you give the oath, so we'll do it that way. And we'll get Mr. Thompson to explain the pictures.
We're going to do a group photo, and Stuart Bish from Stuart Bish Photography is set up in the lobby, and he's going to use the staircase facing that direction, facing the lobby. So we're going to set up as quickly as we can for that group photo, and we'll determine how we will include those members who are not here. We'll determine that later. Following the group photo, we're going to take individual photos of the board members, the rural directors, the electoral area directors. Municipal members usually have a photograph that's provided as part of their municipal photograph, so if you can do that. But if there is time and you'd like to get your photograph taken, we certainly will. And then again, for those who can't attend the individual photos, we'll figure that out later. So before you all disappear, if you can, as quickly as you can, head out to the lobby for the group photo for our board of directors, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you and congratulations.
Okay, and then party at 5 o'clock. You're already setting up on the other side of this wall.